There have been a fair number of challenging games this year, though not all would have bosses. That doesn't mean there haven't been any worthy contenders. This year may have some of the toughest boss fights ever. Fights that may have you questioning your sanity after the 10th or possibly 100th death. Let's take a look at the 10 hardest boss fights of 2022 and what made them so challenging. God of War Ragnarok.
Traitor. Gna. She's fierce.
The new Valkyrie Queenna is probably easier than Sigrun from God of War 2018. Underestimate her at your own peril though, as she possesses a wide variety of slashes, slices, ranged attacks, including Bifrost, unblockable attacks, and whatnot. If that weren't enough, she could toss out 2 glaives in a spinning motion, afflicting you with fire, frost, poison, or Bifrost. Did we mention stomps and slams, each causing immense damage? You'll need max level, fully upgraded gear and weapons, and much more to even stand a chance against Gna. Noble Arcanine, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Despite only being the 3rd noble Pokemon encountered on your journey through Hisui, Noble Arcanine is tough. On top of charging around, it also creates a damaging ring of fire in the center of the arena. Walking around is also tough since it's easy to get burned by the surrounding lava. If you've got the positioning down, it can be defeated without too much trouble, but it's still very challenging. Chef Saltbaker, Cuphead, the delicious last course. Chef Saltbaker is, predictably, the final boss of the DLC after suddenly going axe crazy. The fight starts simply enough by avoiding projectiles based on the ingredients prepared in the background. The second phase is tougher, as you need to take down 4 pepper shakers that each damage Saltbaker. Of course, the third phase is where the real trouble starts. Saltbaker is now a salt monster, because why not, and you must navigate platforms while striking the heart. On the bright side, Saltbaker serves his time and redeems himself through community service. Afflicted Flaming Aspenus, Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak. Aspenus was already one of the more annoying monsters in Sunbreak, Monster Hunter Rise's expansion. So why not give it an uber powerful area of effect attack that must be avoided by running away? Flaming Aspenus, added in Title Update 2, does just that, and it can be tough to avoid if you don't know what's coming. Now add on the Afflicted status, giving it more health and explosive potential, and you face an utter nightmare with its fire, poison, constant charging, and immense damage. Boss Scavenger, Tunic. Tunic is an unexpectedly tough game, with each boss offering different challenges for different players. Boss Scavenger seems to be the one that almost every player has some trouble with. In addition to a bomb, gun, and a slash, which can be tricky to block in some situations, there's also a ground pound and the resulting shockwave that must be avoided. It all sounds easy in theory, but nailing the timing and what to do in each situation can be tough, thanks to the game's Souls-like mechanics. The Undone Sacrifice, Sultan Sacrifice. As the final boss of Sultan Sacrifice, the Undone Sacrifice goes hard with the melee and range combos, juggles, and smashes. Its downward smash, which sends out shockwaves in both directions, is a good time to lay in some damage if you don't get hit by the follow-up combo. One must also be aware of the branches that erupt from beneath them and the overhead scythe swing. Though its moveset isn't the deepest, the Undone Sacrifice can still burst you down quickly if you're not careful. Gregory and Eupraxia, Rogue Legacy 2. Jonah is one of the toughest fights in Rogue Legacy 2, but the final post-game Scar of Erebus ups the stakes further. It features Gregory and Eupraxia, 2 entities unleashing several different class powers, just like Jonah at the same time. The major difference is that they're very fast, with brief windows between their attacks. It can get hard to manage, especially when they start throwing out massive beams, pizzas, and other projectile attacks at once. Slitherfang, Chi Cauldron, Horizon Forbidden West.
Spotted.
By default, the Slitherfang is probably one of the toughest machines to fight in Horizon Forbidden West. It can discharge shock from its tail, use corrosion, and dish out heavy melee damage with tail slams and charges. Hitting its weak spot is also tough since it moves so unpredictably. So when facing the Chi Cauldron version, things can get a little chaotic, especially since there's little cover for protection. A good Bolt Blaster, explosive Spike Thrower, and a strong armor set go a long way towards evening the odds. Rolk, Disciple of the Witness, Destiny 2, the Witch Queen. Throughout Destiny's history, many raid bosses have been content to stand still and take damage. Yes, there are cycles and puzzles that one must solve, but they are mostly stationary. Not Rolk though. Encountered in the Vow of the Disciple raid, he moves around swiftly, attacking with his glaive and kicking those who get too close. Even when made vulnerable to attack, he'll move faster and continue firing beams, slicing with the glaive, and much more. In terms of mechanics, it's a pretty big departure from other raid fights, as clumping together throughout the fight can mean a quick wipe. Chaos Alphalus, Kirby in the Forgotten Land. After defeating Morpho Knight and gaining his ability, no other entity could oppose you. That is, until partaking in the Ultimate Cup Z in the Colosseum and going to the end to fight Chaos Alphalus. A powered-up version of the final story boss, it has way more attacks, from surrounding Kirby with spears to firing beams through portals. Upon defeating its first form, its second, a simple core, emerges, which can unleash a dark vortex, fire beams, and much more. It's a grueling fight that necessitates upgrading the Morpho Blade, eating buffs, and carrying a full health item, but provides the absolute best ending upon victory. Melania Blade of Mikola, Elden Ring. One of the toughest bosses in the history of From Software, Melania Blade of Mikola has never known defeat. Get used to hearing that as you die many times, trying unsuccessfully to avoid her waterfowl dance or near fatal grab attack in the first phase. Just when you think it's over, she transforms in the second phase, unleashing even more attacks that afflict Scarlet Rot on top of big damage over time. All of this is bad enough, but you have to avoid getting hit since Melania has lifesteal. Defeating her is truly an accomplishment. So what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.